and these chucks, they don't let air out. I have one already connected, but it's not letting any air out, and I don't feel any air coming out. So that's pretty good. Hello and welcome to another Xterra video where I work on my truck. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. And in today's video I'm coming back to work on my compressor, and more precise I'm gonna be working on my Tire Inflate Deflate system. So hopefully today I can finish it all up. I think I got all the material that I need, I hope so. I got this air hose, which seems to be very popular to use this type of a hose. It's very flexible but yet strong, and I got it in 3/8 format, so all the connectors I got is in a 3/8. The only thing I made a mistake previously, I got wrong T connector, even though it says 3/8 T, but you gotta make sure you get a 3/8 barb connector. So that's what I got. So hopefully now I can assemble this all together. You also gonna need something to cut the hose. It'd be nice if you can cut it straight. You can use it with a knife or anything else, but I have this tool, so I'm gonna use that. So right now I'm just gonna start measuring how long I'm gonna leave each hose, which pretty much is gonna be what most of people are doing anyways. 12 feet from tire to tire, with a 3 feet loop going to the rear tire, and then 8 feet going back to distribution block. And that's gonna leave me with a 4 feet of slack extra, which I'm actually gonna use over here from the compressor to the block. So maybe I'm gonna secure the hose somewhere here, maybe not, we'll see. But now, without any more talking, I'm gonna start measuring the cable and start cutting it, and we're gonna start assembling it. As always, I'm gonna leave all the links in the description, how many of each connectors we need and what are used. The only thing, these ends I wanna leave in the middle over here, coming back over here. So I'm actually gonna start with the 8 feet portion from here and from here, and then I'm gonna do the remaining ends. So now I'm gonna measure 2 lengths of 8 feet and I'm gonna cut that, and then 2 lengths of 3 feet and 12 feet. So I'm just gonna lay it flat over here on the ground and use a measuring tape to measure it. This doesn't have to be super precise, I mean 1 inch off, it's no big deal I feel like, so. But anyways, gonna do my best. So 8 feet is somewhere over here, so I'm gonna mark this, and now I'm gonna cut my first piece over here. So this is gonna go from the back to my first tire. There we go, perfect cut. So like I said, now I'm gonna measure them all, cut them all, and then we're gonna start assembling it all together. Alright, so now that we have all the pieces cut, we have the 12 foot, the 8 foot and the 3 foot pieces are cut, so now we can start assembling this all together. We also have a leftover of 4 feet. I'm gonna see how much of it I'm actually gonna use it, maybe I'm gonna cut it even shorter. So now all the pieces are cut, let's start assembling all together. So wherever we're gonna be threading any parts, make sure you put a sufficient amount of Teflon tape and always wrap it around the same way as you're gonna be tidying up any particular unit. That way it's gonna be all secured. So now I'm gonna put a Teflon tape over here, same way as I'm gonna be threading the connector. Alright, and now let's screw this connector on it. Now for this one I'm actually using 24, and this is 5/8. I don't feel you have to go too crazy, but just make sure it's tight. Alright, this is pretty good. So now let's get our T out and do our first interconnection. Also, let's get a clamp out ready. Now let's put the T inside. Let's get a clamp over it, like so. And now let's just tighten this up. Beautiful. And by the way, and these clamps are 1/2 inch, 1/4 to 5/8. So they work pretty good over here. Let's put one over here, slide this over. And again, let's tighten this up. And now the long piece. Alright, this is nice and tight. Now we're gonna make our ends over here. For that, we're gonna use this 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter. Again, gonna put a connector here. Gonna slide the adapter in. Push this all the way out, like so. Just keep in mind and make sure that the connector is in the middle of the adapter. For the air chuck, I actually went with these ones. First of all, they were slightly cheaper than the other ones, and I feel like they should work just as fine. But we're not gonna know until we try. So now let's just tighten this in here. And over here you don't really have to put a Teflon tape, as it comes with a rubber inside there. So as you tighten this up, this gonna be airtight. Now if this gonna leak air, I'm just gonna have to reassemble it and add a Teflon tape, but I will keep you guys updated in description if it leaks air or not from here, but I don't think you need Teflon tape there. So now let's do the same with the other end. Alright, and one side is done. I know it looks like a little bit of a mess over here, but just bear with me, guys. Both sides are done. So now I'm gonna work just on the middle portion, interconnecting it all together. For the middle, I'm gonna use this block, and I also opted to go with a digital mirror. I was thinking about getting the analog, but I figured I'm just gonna keep a couple of spare batteries in the truck, so that way I can always read the mirror more accurate. Also, originally I picked up this 1/4 valve to open and to let air in and out, but then I opted to go for the different valve. It's also 1/4, but the opening inside there, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the opening in this one is much bigger than on this one. Maybe it's not gonna make a lot of difference, but I think I'm gonna go and use this one. So once again, gonna put a clamp over here, slide this connector all the way in, tighten this up. So now I'm gonna put this valve between my gauge and the hose going to the compressor. That way, whenever I disconnect from the compressor and I open the valve, I'm gonna bleed the air from the tires. So again, gonna put a Teflon tape and screw it in place. And alright guys, it's all done. It all came out pretty much the way I want it to be, very modular. So I have two sides. I can use just one side or two sides. And these chucks, they don't let air out. I have one already connected, but it's not letting any air out. And I don't feel any air coming out. So that's pretty good. And as you can see, whenever it's all coiled up, it doesn't really take that much space. Just gotta be careful with this part, just have to keep it somewhere safe. As for the hoses, you guys pretty much can keep them anywhere. In my case, they fit perfect in this carrying bag where the air compressor came from, so that's where I'm gonna keep them. So that's pretty good, they fit over here perfect. Now the gauge, I have this small carrying case, so that's where I'm gonna keep my gauge. Gonna keep it in here, and then it goes in here as well. So now close this all up. Perfect, perfect. And all my hoses in here from this bag worked out pretty good from all top. And I have this hose which I have not cut because I need more time to figure out how exactly I'm gonna do this transition. Maybe I leave it as it is, maybe I'm gonna leave it longer or not, we'll see. As time goes by, I'm probably gonna figure something out. But as of now, this is just simply gonna plugs in here, this plugs in here, and then two sides plugged in here. Nice and easy. I like it. I like this setup. I'm probably gonna secure this over here, or maybe I'm gonna be unplugging this. But now that it's all plugged in, let's test it. Alright guys, we got out on the trail, so now it's a perfect time to test the Tire Deflate and Inflate system. So now I'm gonna connect all 4 tires and I'm gonna test it, how long it's gonna take it to air down from 35 psi to 20 psi. And then I'm gonna fill up the air and also gonna test it out, how long it's gonna take it to air up all 4 tires at the same time. So now I'm just gonna coil all the hoses. Alright, let's connect the main hose. Let's connect both sides. And now let's connect each tire. So now let's check the air pressure on the tire. Let's turn it on. And as you can see, I have 35 psi. So now I'm gonna time how long it's gonna take to get down to 20 psi on all 4 tires. And let's hit start. Turn it off. Okay, we're still at 32 psi, so let's get more air out. This is a good way to clean your truck as well. Okay, 30.
A few moments later.
Alright, we are at 20 psi. Let me stop the timer. So it took me under 2 minutes, 1 minute 56 seconds to air down all 4 tires from 35 psi to 20 psi at the same time. I think that's pretty good. 2 minutes, it's not too long. So now I'm gonna connect it to the compressor and we're gonna test how long it's gonna take me to air it up. Now, as you can see, I started my truck. I don't want to kill the battery as the compressor is running. It's gonna pull a lot of juice. So all the 4 tires are connected. Now I'm also connected to the compressor. So now I'm gonna fire up my compressor and we'll test it. How long it's gonna take it to inflate it from 20 psi to 35 psi, all 4 tires. And here we go. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it, make sure that compressor doesn't overheat, but hopefully it's all gonna be alright. I'm just checking for any air leaks, but so far everything is good. And like I said over here, you don't need a Teflon tape. It doesn't leak any air, so this is good. So it's been 1 minute 30 seconds so far, but I know we need more air. $32 more, and I'm glad I have a air pressure switch in there, so it shuts off whenever I turn this off. Alright, 35 psi. Oh, let's stop the timer. And it took me only 3 minutes 48 seconds. Nice. Alright, let's unplug everything. Alright, so now I can disconnect all the hoses. And of course gonna unplug the cable from here, close the outlet, keep it protected, put this back in place. Now the compressor did get a little bit hot over here, but it's nothing too crazy. And I like the position over here, it's very well ventilated, it's not touching any plastic or anything, so it's all pretty good. So I'm very impressed and happy how the system came out. It's very quick to deflate all the tires, and you deflate them at the same time, all four of them. And it's pretty quick to fill up the air, just under 4 minutes. And like I said, the compressor didn't get too hot. It was a little bit hot, but not extremely hot. I think they all get hot anyways, so that's to be expected. And this system came out very compact, and I really like how it came out all modular like that, so I can easily just store it in there and put in one of the bins over here, and it doesn't take much space. Alright guys, I'm very happy how this project came out. When you plan something, it comes out the way you want it, and it's actually all working. So as always, I'm gonna leave all the links in the description to all the products that I bought, or for at least a majority of this, because some of that parts I actually got at local hardware store, like those connectors, so that's where the packaging is different. But you can find them on Amazon for a very cheap price. They sell it in bundles of 12 or 15 connectors, so, and already with clamps, so that's a pretty good deal. This was a big improvement from the previous time I was trying to fill up the air. When filling up all 4 tires, it took me over 7 minutes. Now it was under 4 minutes to inflate all the tires. And now all the air pressure, and that is very important for multiple reasons, for even wear of the tires, or whenever you're driving on a highway or anywhere else, you need stability, and if you have uneven air pressure, that might cause it. So as always guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you might find it helpful, and until next time everybody, bye.